African Development Bank, if we have one representative from AFDB. Let us all rise.
Welcome, Your Excellencies. In Kenya, we like to clap to welcome them. So why don't we put our hands together as we welcome our delegates as they arrive. Welcome, Your Excellencies, for this auspicious occasion. Welcome. As guided earlier, we shall start with two anthems. The Kenyan anthem starting us off, followed by the Comesa anthem. I'll request that we all remain standing for us to have those two anthems, and I'll request that we clear the front kindly, including our media team, please, so that we have the two anthems, starting with the Kenyan anthem, followed by the Comesa anthem. The anthems. May we kindly take our seats. Your Excellency, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, President and Commander-in-Chief of the Kenya Defense Forces. Your Excellency Azali Assoumani, President of the Union of Comoros. Your Excellency Dr. Emmerson Mnangagwa, President of the Republic of Zimbabwe. Your Excellency Dr. Abiy Ahmed, Prime Minister of the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia. Your Excellency Evariste Ndayishimiye, President of the Republic of Burundi. Your Excellency Russell Dlamini, Prime Minister of the Kingdom of Eswatini. Your Excellency Mustafa Modly, Prime Minister of the Arab Republic of Egypt. Your Excellency Chileshe Mpundu Kapwepwe, Secretary General Comesa, Assistant Secretary Generals of Comesa, Your Excellency Mahmoud Ali Yusuf, Chair of the African Union Commission, Your Excellency Wamkele Mene, Secretary General of the African Continental Free Trade Area, Your Excellency Major Retired Jessica Alupo, Vice President of the Republic of Uganda, Your Excellency Ambassadors, including ambassadors and representatives accredited to Comesa, the Nairobi County Governor, Honorable Johnson Sakaja, Cabinet Secretaries and Ministers present, Principal Secretaries present, senior government officials from various countries represented, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. To start us off, we invite you all to experience with us an artistic production comprising of cultural and contemporary sounds alongside scenic sights of Kenya. This piece of art is put together by Kenyan youth, and let us now embark on this musical journey of entertainment. Musical team, welcome.
fair chance to success, shared accountability. Like a working government, we enable productivity, a wide and harmonized playing field. Our markets we make competitive. Look at all these industries, we make them all productive. Increased agricultural production. Did I say food security? Banking and money matters, harmonized good financial policies, better transport and communication infrastructure. Talk about reliability, spreading our wings to the south and the east of our continent. There is never a doubt about our values and competence. We are a free trade area. We are a custom union. We are trade promotion. We are Comesa.
Ndiyo nguzo ya nchi zetu, tumeungana sote pamoja, tunazijenga nchi zetu
kwa amani na upendo, tuendeleze utu wetu. Haya yote tukizingatia, baraka tele tutapokea. Vijana, wazee, kina mama, tunaweza tukiungana. Furaha, usawa na ustawi, Mungu Baba tatujalia. So full, njooni wazalendo sote tuimbe. So full, Comesa biashara twaimarisha. Harambee, pamoja tutafika kilele. Harambee, Afrika tutaishi milele.
Tutaungana tena, ndugu pia na usawa tena, uzalendo kuendeleza tena, na kwa pamoja tutasimama tena. Harambee, pamoja tutafika kilele. Tutaishi milele. Harambee, pamoja tutafika kilele. Harambee, pamoja tutaishi milele.
Let's give them another round of applause for that epic journey of culture through song and dance. Isn't Africa such a rich continent? With your permission, Your Excellency, allow me to now invite you, Your Excellency, to now make welcoming remarks and invite your guests. Let us put our hands together as we welcome His Excellency Dr. William Samoei Ruto, President of the Republic of Kenya. Karibu Kenya.
Your Excellency, Evariste Ndayishimiye, President of the Republic of Burundi and outgoing chairperson of the Comesa Authority, Your Excellencies, fellow heads of state and government, Your Excellency Mahmoud Ali Yusuf, chairperson of the Africa Union Commission, honorable ministers, Her Excellency Jileshe Mbundu Kapwepwe, Secretary General of Comesa, His Excellency Wamkele Mene, Secretary General of Africa Continental Free Trade Area, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to welcome you all to the 24th Comesa Summit of Heads of State and Government here in Nairobi, a forum that allows us to reflect on the milestones achieved and chart the way forward for our organization, the Comesa, the Common Market for East and Southern Africa. Excellencies, Nairobi is not only the political and economic heart of Kenya, but also a vibrant regional hub that connects Africa to the world and a center of innovation, trade, and diplomacy. Hosting the 24th Summit of Heads of State and Government underscores Kenya's strong commitment to regional integration. It also advances our National Development Blueprint Vision 2030, which envisions transforming Kenya into a middle-income country through regional integration and cross-border cooperation. The nature of the 21st century globalization has strengthened the case for regional integration as a pathway to sustainable economic growth. Across the world, nations are uniting in regional blocs to expand opportunities, share risks, and maximize collective development. In Africa, there is a growing sense that by merging our economies and pooling
are going on in a number of Comesa countries. Heads of state, heads of government, distinguished guests. Despite the successes, we have challenges to deal with when it comes to integration. We have the responsibility to see how we allow traders to move freely in our region so that we can help them to respect the commitments at the continental level. We really need to work so that our integration program is a success. We need to resolve the paradox. We need integration, yes, but we depend heavily on external donors. So we see that this is reducing. To deal with this dependence, the Treaty of Comesa looks forward to have in place how we can have a common fund to go forward. So, Ministers of Comesa, please work with the Secretariat so that we can achieve this. For the private sector, we need to have their active participation in the implementation of the policies that we come up with so that we can have structural transformation and economic diversification. We know the central role that enterprises play and other institutions as we look forward to mobilize the private sector so that we can be much more productive in our region so that we can have development and economic growth. We have solid and efficient institutions that have continued to support our collaboration efforts, working hand in hand with the private sector for economic integration in the region. This partnership is supposed to be strengthened, and we thank the good work that has been done by our precious Comesa institutions in different sectors, be it in the finance, in regional investment, reassurance, and mitigation of investment, be it processing of products, and how we need to help women and youth in all that we are doing. To have an integrated reg peace and security is to call upon all member country governments to be concerned by the question of peace and security of their neighbor. It's when we have good neighborhoods that together we can have bigger projects and dream of a region and Africa without borders. Before I finish, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to reiterate my gratitude to every one of you for the support that you have given me during the past year. Thanks very much for your support. Thanks to that, I was able to participate in all these efforts so that we show the contribution of Comesa in international fora. Very specifically, I'd like to thank you, heads of state, heads of government, for the pieces of advice that you have given to the ministers that has given good leadership. and stewardship. Sectorial, technical committees, the Secretariat, thanks very much. You have worked diligently to have these achievements. I'm going to give the presidency of the conference. I want to thank His Excellency Dr. William Samoei Ruto, who is the head of state of Kenya, who is going to take the chairmanship of our organization. Dear brother, Dr. William Ruto, you can count on my support, total support, and that of my government. Under your leadership, I'm assured that the vision of Comesa, being an integrated and a competitive Comesa, this is going to improve the lives of our populations so that we have a REC which is going to be prosperous. I like to thank most sincerely the Republic of Zambia, the rapporteur, outgoing rapporteur, for the support that you have given me. For institutions coming from my country, development partners, thanks very much to support Comesa and its institutions. Same gratitude to you. Excellencies, heads of state, heads of government, distinguished guests. To conclude, allow me to reaffirm that Comesa is committed fully so that we have Africa integration program on the right track. We need to remain united and speak in one voice, given the protection and the disturbance that we see in supply chains. We need to defend our vision, our aspirations, defending the 2063 Africa agenda for an Africa that is prosperous in the world arena. Heads of state, heads of government, Your Excellencies, and I declare open the work of the 24th Summit of Comesa. Long live Comesa, long live Africa. Everybody, thanks very much. Be blessed.
Votre Excellence, Mesdames, Messieurs, it is my honor to announce the new bill of our wonderful organization, Comesa. Now, the leadership will be held by the Republic of Kenya. The new chairman of Comesa Authority is His Excellency Dr. Samoei William Ruto. The vice chairmanship will be held by the Republic of Zimbabwe under the leadership of His Excellency Emerson Mnangagwa. Burundi will remain in the Bureau as Secretary. Excellencies, now it is my pleasure to invite my brother, His Excellency Dr. William Ruto, President of the Republic of Kenya, for the handover. Thank you, welcome.
Will kindly request that you come on stage, Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, as the incoming chair, together with the Secretary General. And what we'll have here is the handover of instruments of power. Let's take our seats, please. We may kindly take our seats. We'll have an exchange, or rather handing over of the instruments of power. And at this point, allow me to invite Gabriel Masuku to hand over the instruments as I mention what they are. We start with the Comesa Treaty, which is a symbol of solemn, sacred, binding commitment and cooperation to the aims and objectives of Comesa as a rules-based organization with shared values, goals, obligations for integration of the Comesa region. That is the treaty. Let us put our hands together for the treaty. Next, we have the Comesa flag. This symbolizes core values, goals, and identity of collective with Comesa member states, affirming their unity and pride as a pledge to uphold and promote the shared identity of the people of the Comesa region. And the last is the Comesa gavel, a symbol of authority, leadership, formal process of decision-making that promotes, according to respect and adherence to Comesa establishing processes. Let's have the band give us what we call the fanfare. And with that, allow me to request that His Excellency the President and the Secretary General to take their seats. We still have the launch of the treaty. Your Excellency Ndiashimie, the launch of the treaty. Okay. The launch of the treaty. Allow me to invite Gabriel Masuku to just come and run us through what the launch of the treaty is and how that goes. Welcome, sir.
Excellencies, riding on the already established protocols, it is my honor and privilege to invite the Secretary General, Madam Chileshe Mbundu Kapwepo, to come to the podium to facilitate the presentation and launch of the 2024 annual report.
Excellencies, heads of state and government, it is now my pleasure to request the outgoing chair of Comesa Authority to formally launch the annual report to 2024, which he presented during his keynote speech formally to the summit. It is in the official 3 languages of Comesa: Arabic, English, and French.
It is now my singular honor and distinct pleasure to now call upon the chairperson of the Comesa Authority, His Excellency Dr. William Samoei Ruto, to deliver his acceptance speech. Why don't we give him a round of applause as he's coming to deliver his acceptance speech. Welcome, sir.
Your Excellency, my brother Evariste Ndayishimiye, President of the Republic of Burundi and outgoing chair of the Comesa Authority. Your Excellencies, heads of state and government, distinguished ministers, Excellencies, members of the Bureau of Comesa Authority. Your Excellency Mohammed Ali Yusuf, chairperson of the Africa Union Commission. Her Excellency Jileshe Mbundu Kapwepwe, Secretary General of Comesa, Excellency Wamkele Mene, Secretary General of ACFTA, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is with profound gratitude, humility, and a deep sense of purpose that I stand before you today as the new chair of the Comesa market for Eastern and Southern Africa. I thank you for the trust you have placed in me and in the people of the Republic of Kenya to lead this great organization, one that remains a cornerstone of Africa's economic transformation and a model for continental integration under the Africa Union. Allow me to pay special tribute to my brother and friend, His Excellency President Evariste Ndayishimiye of the Republic of Burundi. Your Excellency, under your wise and steady leadership, Comesa has registered remarkable progress, and from all of us, we say thank you very much and congratulations, Mr. President. You have advanced our shared vision of integration and cooperation with diligence and dedication. For this, we owe you our collective appreciation and deep respect. Excellencies, I assume this responsibility under the inspiring theme, leveraging digitalization to deepen regional value chains for sustainable and inclusive growth. Indeed, it is my firm conviction that the future of our prosperity and our rightful place in the global economy will be defined by how effectively we harness the transformative power of digital technology. For far too long, Africa has been a passive recipient and consumer of technology. The time has come for us to become producers, innovators, and exporters of digital solutions, shaping our own economic destiny. In Kenya, the story of M-Pesa is a vivid example of the power of local innovation. A simple idea born from necessity and nurtured by ingenuity that revolutionized financial inclusion for millions. This is the spirit of African innovation we must now ignite and scale across our region. We must move decisively to digitalize every aspect of trade facilitation by investing jointly in physical and digital infrastructure, modern transport corridors, regional data centers, and secure cloud services. These digital superhighway excellencies must not end in our capitals. It must reach every village, connect every farmer, empower every entrepreneur, and link our landlocked nations to the arteries of global trade. Equally, we must harmonize our digital policies and regulatory frameworks. Fragmentation is itself a non-tariff barrier. A single digital market for Comesa will require common standards for e-commerce, digital payments, data protection, and cybersecurity. Let us therefore accelerate the adoption of electronic certificates of origin, integrated single window systems, and interoperable cross-border payment platforms to make our region the most efficient place for trade on our continent. Excellencies, at this time, we must now leap into the fourth industrial revolution, Industry 4.0, by integrating automation, artificial intelligence, and advanced manufacturing. This is how we will transform our rich mineral and agricultural resources into high-value finished products within Comesa, creating quality jobs, boosting economies, and expanding our incomes. Digital solutions in logistics, including real-time cargo tracking, smart port management, and AI-driven supply chain systems will reduce transit times, cut costs, and enhance transparency in our trade networks, making Comesa the most efficient and attractive trading region in Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, the attainment of our development objectives hinges on access to equitable, affordable, and sustainable financing mechanisms that promote inclusive growth and long-term transformation, not cycles of debt and dependency. As I noted in my recent address to the United Nations, the global financial system remains trapped in the architecture of a bygone era. Institutions such as IMF and World Bank, conceived in the aftermath of the Second World War 80 years ago, continue to be dominated by wealthy nations, resulting in persistent inequities and limited voice for developing countries and poor nations. In response, one of the most viable pathways for Africa and for regional economic blocs like Comesa is to strengthen our homegrown multilateral financial institutions such as Trade Development Bank, Afri-Exim Bank, Africa Finance Corporation, Shelter Afrique, Africa Re, and the Africa Trade and Investment Development Insurance, and ZEP-RE. These institutions, ladies and gentlemen, embody our collective determination to mobilize African capital for African priorities. We may recall that Trade and Development Bank, for example, was established under the preferential trade area, the precursor of Comesa, and has since evolved into the financial arm of our common market, driving regional trade, investment, and sustainable development. That is why here in Kenya, we are backing our words with action. Having already committed $50 million as share capital to Afri-Exim Bank, we have just additionally invested $100 million to enhance our shareholding in Trade and Development Bank. And my good friend Tadesse, the CEO, is at the corner there. These African-led banks are proving to be true partners in progress. Through our participation, Kenya can now access long-term facilities of up to 25 years at reasonable concessional interest rates, tangible proof that investing in our own institutions yields real and sustainable value. By strengthening and capitalizing these entities, we are deepening regional financial integration and ensuring that Africa's development is financed on terms that reflect our realities, our priorities, and our aspirations. Excellencies, intra-Comesa trade, though improving, still accounts for a very small share of total trade. Africa, as we all know, and I was looking at the numbers this morning, only contributes 3% to global trade. And as we also know, intra-Africa trade, and I'm sure my brother Wamkele is here, is only 14% of all our trade. If you compare with Europe, 70% of their trade is intra-European. They trade 70% of their products within Europe. In Asia, they trade 60% of all their products and services within Asia. In Africa, we are only doing 14%. And that is why our contribution to global trade is only 3%, because we are not trading first and foremost with ourselves. And the reason why we are not trading with ourselves, and that is why the essence of Comesa, the reason why we are not trading with ourselves is because we have unlimited barriers. Just imagine that in the European Union, 26 countries, they have a single visa. Therefore, their people can move much more freely. In Comesa, with the, let's say, the tripartite agreement, we have 27 countries and 27 visas to be able to travel. Tell me, ladies and gentlemen, how we are going to catch up with the rest of the world if we are going to have this visa and that visa and the other visa to cross this border and the other border and the next border. So I want to commend my brother, President Ndayishimiye, this morning for announcing that Burundi is going to join countries in our continent that today are thinking about eliminating visa requirements for Africans to travel within our continent. Secondly, is the issue of trade barriers. We have signed beautiful agreements, but we are not translating those agreements into real movement of products and people on the ground. Ladies and gentlemen, we must move from competition amongst ourselves to cooperation and collaboration. From exporting raw materials to building value chains that retain wealth within our borders. At the same time, the question of continental integration must go beyond trade agreements and shared markets. It must also embrace the free movement of people, goods, and services across our borders. True integration will only be achieved when an African can travel, work, and invest freely anywhere within our continent. I will give you some numbers. When we decided as Kenya that we are going to open our borders to Africans and limit the requirements of visa, our visitors from Africa have doubled. Africa's strength lies in its openness and unity. We are optimistic that our sister countries across the continent will take similar bold steps, that together we may unlock the full potential of a borderless, connected, and prosperous Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, our growth must be inclusive, uplifting micro, small, and medium enterprises, empowering women and youth, and ensuring that every citizen becomes a stakeholder in our shared prosperity. Equally, sustainability must be central to our development model. We are stewards of a rich natural heritage, and we owe it to future generations to pursue growth that protects our environment. Excellencies, all these ambitions rest on unshakable foundations: peace, security, and stability. There can be no development without peace and no investment without stability. We must therefore strengthen our collective capacity to prevent conflict, manage disputes peacefully, and uphold democracy, good governance, and the rule of law. This must remain our highest and most sacred duty. The government and the people of Kenya are ready to play our part. In accepting the chairmanship of this great common market, I pledge to serve as a dedicated, energetic, and collaborative partner, working with each of you to advance the Comesa vision of a shared prosperity, integration, and transformation. Together, we can build a Comesa that is digital, that is dynamic, and deeply inclusive, a bloc that truly reflects the promise of a rising Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you very much for choosing Kenya, coming to Kenya, and sharing this moment with us. And thank you very much for your audience. Asanteni sana.
Another warm clap for the chair. His Excellency Dr. William Samoei Ruto. And now we will progress to maiden statements. And to start us off, allow me to now invite His Excellency Azali Assoumani, President of the Union of Comoros, to make his statement. Let's give him a clap as he now approaches the stage. Welcome, sir.
Excellences,
Excellencies,
Majestés, Mesdames et Messieurs, mes chers frères, chefs d'État et de gouvernement,
heads of state and government,
chefs de délégation,
heads of delegations, Secretary General of Comesa, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I would like, on behalf of my delegation, and then my own behalf, thank sincerely our brother, the President Ruto, that we are calling Amadabako in Comoros, as well as the government of Kenya, for the welcome that has been accorded to us in this beautiful country, and for everything they've done to make our stay beautiful and guarantee the success of the summit. I also salute the role played by our brother in the fight against climate change and for the promotion of inclusive and sustainable development in Africa. Nairobi, and Nairobi is not only an African capital, a modern and dynamic capital, but also a symbolic place where the initiatives that are being put in place that are going to create the future of our dear continent. So I take this opportunity to congratulate sincerely to you, my dear brother, President Ruto, that from today you're becoming the chair of Comesa, and I wish you success in the pursuit of this noble mission in the service of our region. I also address my congratulations to the outgoing president, my dear brother Ndayishimiye, for the remarkable work that he has accomplished during his mandate, his engagement, and his leadership that have contributed to the consolidation of our organization. I also salute the work, remarkable work that has been accomplished by the Comesa Secretary General and their commitment towards regional integration. Ladies and gentlemen, honorable delegates, the theme of this 24th summit that brings us together is on digitization, so that we can deepen regional value chains and so that we have sustainable development and inclusive development with a common will to make our region sustainable development and prosperity and stability. So the choice of this theme is very prudent, given that digitization is today the engine behind modern economies and transforming the way in which we're producing, we trade, teach, and heal. And it is a factor of inclusion, given that the access to digital tools is helping our youth, women, and diaspora to be able to access markets and create value where the traditional structures